Good evening. I'm Haley Wilgus. Scott Dennis has the night off. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight, the first day of the Republican National Convention in Cleveland, Ohio, and just a few hours in, protests and chaos inside the Quicken Loans Arena over the rules that will govern this convention. Just a few hours into this four-day event, anti-Trump delegates asked for a state-by-state roll call vote after collecting signatures on petitions calling for this vote. They had support from a majority of the delegates in 9 states, which is 2 more than needed. But Representative Steve Womack, who was chairing the proceedings, told the crowd that delegates from 3 states withdrew their signatures. He then declared that that effort had fallen short, setting off uproar, as you can hear here, among those delegates who started chanting and protesting inside the arena. And now it appears the crowd has calmed down a bit and the event is moving forward. And there is a lot of stake at this GOP convention. Over the next 4 days, the convention will host approximately 2,470 delegates and 2,302 alternate delegates from all 50 states. Each night will center on a different theme. The theme for today is Make America Safe Again. More than 25 people are giving speeches on the Republican Party's plan to protect our country, including 2 Marine Corps veterans and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. But of course, the focus is Donald Trump. Paul Manafort, Trump's campaign manager, says the goal of the convention is to reintroduce the presumptive nominee to the American public.
Since Mr. Trump has been not active in the political arena prior to his becoming a candidate about a year ago, that the biography of the man, while is known from a topical standpoint, really is not very well known when you get into the components of his his bio.
Trump's wife, Melania, will be the first of several members of the candidate's family who will speak at the convention to paint a picture of Trump's character beyond what America saw during the primaries. House Speaker Paul Ryan has been officially elected chairman of the RNC. The Wisconsin lawmaker was elected on a quick voice vote with no opposition. ABC 7's Alan Cohn is in Cleveland. He spoke with the ABC News political contributor and has more on what we can expect in primetime tonight.
Donald Trump's convention is underway, and the day began with Florida delegates hearing from the Trump campaign about how it intends to build a ground game to win Florida. This is an unconventional convention. Not present are former Republican presidents and former Republican nominees for president, but there are a lot of Trumps here and a lot of reality TV stars. And ABC News' political director says the Trump campaign is well aware of everything taking place outside this convention hall.
This is among the more chaotic settings that I've ever covered. Starting with inside, the program is coming together very late. It's an unconventional program, a lot of reality stars and a lot of Trumps as part of it. And then the condition outside. There's no question that world events, including the killings of police officers in Dallas and Baton Rouge, it has people on edge, it has people tense, and the real world is intruding right here inside the arena.
And coming up at 6, we'll hear from Donald Trump's chief strategist in Florida. I'm Alan Cohn in Cleveland at the Republican National Convention for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Alan. Donald Trump will introduce his wife on stage. After Melania's speech, the couple will fly back to New York and will return to Cleveland on Thursday when Trump is scheduled to deliver his acceptance speech. Leading up to that speech, a colorful mix of political leaders and entertainers. All 4 of Trump's grown children will have primetime slots. There will also be some speeches from survivors of the 2012 attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi. An astronaut, sports stars, actors, and congressional leaders. A handful of senators and governors will get a turn, including Governor Rick Scott and Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. One person not on the list, Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan. His representative says Buchanan is not attending to spend more time with his family. And we will continue to bring you these live updates from the RNC convention tonight and all week long. ABC 7's Ray Collins and Alan Cohn will be there through Thursday, so be sure to stay tuned to ABC 7 for the latest, as well as our website, mysuncoast.com, and our social media pages. Hillary Clinton also in Ohio today addressing the NAACP convention in Cincinnati. The Democratic presidential candidate focused her speech on the recent police shootings. Clinton says it's time for the killings to stop. She vowed, if elected president, to reform the nation's criminal justice system and make sure that those who murder law enforcement officers are held accountable.
And all of this tells us very powerfully that we have to change. Many police officers across the country agree with that. But it can only happen if we build trust and accountability. And let's admit it, that gets harder every time someone else is killed.
The NAACP invited Donald Trump to speak at this annual conference, but he declined. Now we're going to get a check on our forecast and head over to Bob.
Yeah, a little different today, Haley. We have this strong easterly wind flow today, and that easterly wind continues to keep these showers moving to the west, so they're not sticking around as long. Typically, we get that little west coast sea breeze that moves in, but since that east wind was so strong, it never really got generated, and I think similar conditions will be played out for us tomorrow. So expect a little bit more rainfall around on Tuesday afternoon because of additional moisture that will be with us, but we'll still see that east to westerly component for our storms. And right now, the heaviest activity offshore, but a pretty big cell has blown up near Northport and just to the west of Port Charlotte. Quite a few lightning strikes with it. It is moving off to the west at 10 miles an hour. And you can see now down to street level the heaviest rain right along US 41 near Warm Mineral Springs, right there near Sumter Boulevard near Northport, and all of it again pushing off to the east at around 10 miles an hour. It will be in South Venice in just a few minutes from now. Well, much more in the rest of the week's forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. The Sarasota Police Department is looking to upgrade its citywide wireless cameras. The police department is hoping to receive the 2016 local Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. The chief wants to use the more than $30,000 to replace 8 of their 12 cameras. These cameras are crucial to investigators by helping them identify and capture criminals. They're also a part of the community policing program, allowing officers to be more transparent with the community.
We can, if we get reported crimes in the area they're in, we can go back and review them to see if we catch anything on tape from the cameras. They're beneficial in that way. The cameras have been in place for over 5 years, and the equipment's just getting old, and it's time to start replacing parts of the equipment, either it's cameras or the infrastructure.
The Sarasota Police Department is seeking approval of this grant from the City Commission. And the Sarasota City Commission giving the green light to a major traffic study. Today, the commission unanimously approved moving forward with their portion of the FDOT project. Sarasota County commissioners gave their approval for the nearly $2 million comprehensive study last week. This study will review the timing of all of the traffic lights in the county to help move cars through intersections more efficiently. Manatee County recently approved a similar project with FDOT and has completed its traffic timing. Sarasota County hopes to do a spring cleaning of sorts with its comprehensive plan. County commissioners unanimously voted to update the language in the comprehensive plan, which determines the community goals and aspirations for development. The changes will update language in 81 different areas, outlining planning policies for transportation, utilities, land use, recreation, and even housing. But the effort is being met with some mixed feelings.
And they're deceiving the public, or trying to, by saying this is just a cleanup, this is just a minor kind of thing. They are radically changing everything that protects the public from the developers' overreach.
It has been about 10 years since we've updated the last one. Last time it was updated in mid-2006, our demographics were a little bit different, our population projections were a little bit different. So this is a chance, it's a common thing within local government.
The suggested changes are currently being reviewed by state officials. After that, the changes will be sent back to the county for a second public hearing and vote. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, the beat goes on.
Haley, you've got it exactly right, and quite a beat it is. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the Standard & Poor's 500 Index have now been up for 7 consecutive days. Now we have, again, new records for the Dow, new records for the S&P, and even the NASDAQ, which has been a laggard, is barely 3% away from its all-time high. We actually did see some selling early this morning. Heaven forbid the Dow is down by 25 points. We turned that around to plus 40 at the high of the day and finished with a modest gain, but a gain nonetheless. So records everywhere. Let's take a look at the figures, and impressive they are. There you see the Dow added 16.5 points, 0.1%, closing at 18,533.05 on volume of 737 million shares. The NASDAQ was the biggest mover of the day, up over just 0.5%, up over 26 points, closing at 5,055.78. That on volume of 1,648,000,000 shares. The S&P, another record, up over 5 points, 0.25% at 2,166.89. Well, a quick lesson on how Wall Street treats earnings. Hasbro, you are familiar with Hasbro. They've been making toys since 1923 in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and they make things such as Frozen toys, Star Wars toys, $500 million in sales there last year, the Disney Princess, and they announced this morning a 10% increase in sales, a 25% increase in earnings. And now here's the lesson. The stock was down by 6.5 points despite those extraordinary figures because, of course, Wall Street was expecting more. The lesson is simply this. Whatever the earnings are, the real important thing is how did those earnings compare with the Wall Street consensus? In the case of Hasbro, not well at all, Haley, I'm afraid.
That's never good news. And
No.
Richard, late news on Netflix.
And not very good news there, Haley. Certainly that company has done very well, but fewer new subscribers added during the recent quarter. They announced that after the close today. So I'm afraid you're going to see Netflix with lots of down arrows tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, working together to restore ocean ecosystems, how local veterans and teenagers are teaming up to plant an underwater coral nursery. And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast to explain some of those clouds we're seeing. And later in Health Smart, the cleanliness of beards, how much bacteria is lurking in all of that facial hair. And it could surprise you, coming up.
Local coverage of the Republican National Convention on ABC 7 News is brought to you by Stolarski Orthopedic and Age Vital Compounding Pharmacy.
Need new windows? Buy direct from the factory. New South Window is having a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 4 windows, save 25%. Buy 6 windows, save 30%. Buy 8 or more windows and save 35%. How? Because New South owns the factory and you cut out the middleman. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows and doors installed with a lifetime warranty. New South Windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com or call now.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
You know what scares me? No electricity. Yeah, when this magical box suddenly stops working, I call the pros at Mr. Sparky and they send a superhero to save the day. How's it going, Pablo?
It's going great, Mike.
Pablo possesses amazing skill. He can perform incredible feats at blinding speed. Superhero!
Couldn't have done it without you.
Modest, too.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just to be clear, I don't live here.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
The convention's going to be terrific. We have great speakers. We have fantastic speakers.
The presumptive presidential nominee is ready for Cleveland. Actors, athletes, and even a few GOP stalwarts are coming out for the show that is the Republican National Convention. I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story and more as we broadcast live from Cleveland.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
We have potentially life-saving information to share with your doctor on your next visit. I'm Linda Carson. On Suncoast View, we'll talk about 4 important cancer screenings that you'll want to review with your physician. And one of the top improv groups in the country is here this weekend. Stacked, an all-female musical group, gives us a preview of their show, plus the latest men's fashion trends.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
President Obama presents the Medal of Honor to a deserving Vietnam War veteran. The president gave the prestigious award to retired Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kettles, who served in the Army during Vietnam. Kettles, a UH-1 helicopter commander, is credited with saving the lives of 40 soldiers and 4 of his crew members on May 15, 1967. President Obama called Kettles' story a wonderful inspiration and that the takeaway from his bravery should be a creed for everyone.
They needed support fast, helicopters to get the wounded out and bring more soldiers into the fight. Chuck Kettles was a helo pilot, and just as he'd volunteered for active duty, on this morning he volunteered his Hueys, even though he knew the danger.
Kettles is from Michigan and previously served in Korea, Japan, and Thailand. He went on to develop an aviation management program at Eastern Michigan University's College of Technology and worked for Chrysler Pentastar. Local veterans are teaming up with Mote Marine Laboratory on a project to restore the only barrier reef in the continental U.S. This week, members of the Combat Wounded Veteran Challenge and Scuba Knots International will work with scientists to plant, and they're working on this to plant this nursery. It's a nursery-grown corals near Looe Key. It's part of a massive initiative to restore the coral reef that is over a decade strong. In 2006, Mote established an underwater coral nursery where colonies of the threatened staghorn coral are grown. When the colonies reach a nice size, they are placed on the reefs to develop into new colonies.
It's a unique partnership because it is really blending Mote's world-class coral restoration science.
Members of Scuba Knots International and the Combat Wounded Veteran Challenge have been working with Mote to plant corals since 2012. What a neat project.
I'll tell you, it is neat, and being under the water just to get you away from everything. We were down at John Penny Camp for a family vacation just about 3 weeks ago, and the National Park underwater. It's the only one in the United States. Yeah,
That's
you got to
amazing.
check that out. It's really quite amazing. Quite amazing today. The showers are moving offshore pretty quickly, not sticking around. That West Coast sea breeze has really not developed today, which is a rarity. It's been developing for the past 2 weeks now, and that means that west wind does not bring the high humidity in. You can see from the KC Key webcam, the clouds are moving off into the Gulf, and even a few showers dancing off into the Gulf of Mexico as they continue to move off to the east. So bad news for mariners out there. There are going to be quite a few that you'll have to look out for. Looking out for this last night from the Melbourne National Weather Service, getting a shot of the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch that occurred last night. A nice shot there with some clouds in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. Currently at the airport, we have some sunshine, 88 degrees, and notice the heat index not near 100 today, and that's a direct result of that east to northeast wind at 16. Typically, we get that west wind right now. The humidity much lower at 55%. The dew point is at 70, and temperatures statewide. You'll notice a little bit of a cooler ring right there along the west coast of Florida. 75 in Orlando. It's 87 in Jacksonville now. 89 in Miami. The same in Key West. And temperatures right near the water into the mid 80s. A little bit unusual to see that. Again, with that sea breeze, a little bit warmer. Typically 91 though, Mayaca City, and a bit cooler inland too near Highlands County as well as into DeSoto County. Well, we still have some moisture around. A little pocket of dry air has moved in, but really not enough to really shut down the storms this afternoon. They'll continue now and again up and down the coast up until about 9, 10 o'clock, and then we'll see clearing skies, fair conditions overnight. Should be a pretty comfortable evening. And then tomorrow, look for showers to develop, but notice the movement. They'll be moving basically from the east to the west. We don't see that sea breeze development at all. And then that shower activity continues to head off into the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe a little bit more coverage tomorrow due to the fact we'll have a little bit more moisture back in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. And then on Wednesday, similar conditions. I think by Thursday, though, we'll start to see that sea breeze developing, and that will allow for some showers and storms to stick around longer. Some of the storms could be some heavy rainmakers, too, and there's always a possibility for 1 or 2 of these to become severe. It doesn't appear much hail expected with these cells coming up because of the warmer temperatures in the upper levels, but we could see some severe storms. As far as the satellite goes, the enhanced satellite imagery, nothing really to show you on the tropical front. All is quiet. There's a pretty big mass of storms down south in the western Caribbean. We'll talk more about that later. As far as temperatures go in Cleveland, right now, not bad, 85. It's been a bit breezy there today. Boston at 75 degrees, 73 in the nation's capital, so temperatures moderating there, but much warmer over the southern plain states and in the central U.S. The heat wave is going to be getting stronger, I think, throughout this week, so pretty tough conditions there. For boaters, winds out of the northeast, a little bit of a west coast sea breeze right near the coast within a few miles, and then seas running 1 to 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now 88 degrees, so that's come down a little bit considering it was 91 on Friday, and beaches expect a high right around 90 degrees or so. We'll have mostly sunny skies throughout much of the day. Low tide upcoming, 7:59 for Sarasota Bay. High tide at 2:17 and another just after noon tomorrow at 12:07. Sunset will be at 8:26. So expect a few evening storms. They shouldn't be hanging around long as they're moving pretty quickly from the east to the west, and then clearing late. East winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow, similar conditions. I think a little bit better chance for a little bit more widespread storms, and then a high of 92. So expect the sunshine in the morning. And then the afternoon and evening storms. Look at this, a 50 to 60% chance for rain riding in through the rest of this work week and into the weekend. And as I alluded to earlier, some of these storms are going to be a little bit heavier rainmakers once we get through Tuesday, so keep that in mind. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. There's a problem in Manatee County. A vehicle is stalled on US 41 northbound just before US 301. Delays are expected in that area. In health news tonight, since 2010, the number of overdoses from synthetic cannabinoids has increased each year. One reason, the drugs are inexpensive to import into the U.S. The chemicals are made in labs, often in China, and once the chemicals are imported, they are sprayed on plant products and they're sold as synthetic marijuana. The products are usually sold under the guise of legal products, such as incense. Also, the DEA has to add new drugs to its database, so there's always a window of several weeks or months when these chemicals exist in a, quote, quasi-legal state. A program developed at UCLA aims to revolutionize the organ donation system and save lives. The way it works, a friend or family member could donate a kidney now if they don't think they will be able to in a few years when their loved one might need it. Then their intended recipient would receive a gift certificate to redeem for transplantation when needed. An average of 13 people die each day waiting for a kidney donor match. Don't fear the beard. Apparently having facial hair is just as hygienic as having a clean face, and possibly more so. A study by Penn Medicine found clean-shaven men were 3 times more likely to carry bacteria on their faces compared to men with beards. And they were 10% more likely to carry antibiotic-resistant bacteria, MRSA, on their faces. Researchers say that could be because shaving causes tiny cuts on the skin where bacteria can fester. Coming up next, an underwater mission for the Navy, how they were able to free an 80-foot whale. And remember whack-a-mole? Well, how about whack-a-firefighter? The fun way a group of firemen are luring in new recruits.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419, or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
The Chilean Navy is releasing underwater video of a rescue involving an 80-foot-long whale. Passengers aboard a boat noticed the humpback tangled in fishing gear off the coast of Chile. He appeared to be in bad condition. A nearby Navy ship arrived on the scene, and in the daring rescue attempt, divers went under to save the animal. The sailors were able to break the ropes and help the humpback escape. Humpbacks can weigh up to 40 tons. Strong winds caused a home to collapse in Iowa, trapping a man inside. Firefighters were able to raise the floor off of the man. He was able to crawl to the point where authorities could reach and pull him up. There were reports of a tornado touching down in that area yesterday. The Red Cross is on the scene helping those who are displaced. A couple that set out to save a dog ended up becoming the ones who needed saving. A man and woman got stuck in a storm drain in Phoenix while trying to find this dog. The pair says they heard a puppy crying and followed the sound into a storm drain system. But after a few miles of crawling, they got stuck. Fire crews ended up coming to the rescue, and both were able to be rescued with no injuries. The puppy they were looking for was never found. Also in Arizona, firefighters are putting their own spin on a classic arcade game to train new recruits. It's inspired by the traditional whack-a-mole game where you hit the moles coming out of the ground before they go back in. In this new version, firefighters have to spray their fellow firemen with a high-pressure hose, which does not sound like that feels very good, before they retreat behind their different windows. The video was posted on Facebook and has more than 1 million hits. Having fun on the job. Way to go. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, keeping police officers safe, what local law enforcement agencies are doing to protect them while they're on duty. Plus, a mother upset over a discovery at an Inglewood park, what she found that has her taking part in a social media campaign. That's next.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month, complimentary maintenance included, at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Dog days of summer got you down? Beat the heat with huge summer savings during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll be the coolest family on the block in your all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $27,999. Or get the lowest price ever on a new Dodge Journey, just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.